What is up, guys? It's your boy Smalls, back on the Vault weekly show where we take a look back at some of the best and worst jerseys in sports. With me, as always, my companion on this journey that is the Vault, Mr. Benny Buckets.
Hey Smalls, how you doing, buddy? I'm glad to be back, partner, because this town is big enough for the two of us. How are you doing?
Dude, every time I do this show, man, it puts me in a better mood. So I'm just...
The mood is elevated. We've been riding a really good couple weeks of vibes recently. Like, I feel like we are really hitting a groove. We're in this summer vibe, like just riding the wave right now, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially after, dude, last week's episode with Brandon was like awesome. So that just
amazing.
That's gonna carry us for a few episodes, I think, because I mean, I'm just ready to fucking run through a wall right now, especially with today's topic. But
let me tell you, just as a disclaimer, for anybody that knows us as a whole, that's not just the Vault, but Thoughts from the Bench. If you have been following the journey of the company, today's made for you. These are for our OG followers and watchers and friends. Like, this is gonna hit. You want to talk about nostalgia? This hits a different area of nostalgia. But I'll wait to get into that until we reveal the topic. But Smalls, this is something you and I have been talking about doing for a very long time.
Yep.
And I'm so happy that we have finally reached this feat. Wow, sorry, had a stroke real quick. Phenomenon that we're about to get into. So I'm very stoked.
Yep. Few notes before we get started. Really want you guys, if you like the show, like Thoughts from the Bench, subscribe to the YouTube page. Every single click helps a lot. We're trying to grow the channel, and this is one of the shows that I think could really do the trick for the company. So everyone go check out
our... since it's the best show.
Yeah.
The best show should be the one really leading the way on YouTube. But guys, it's if you are a Facebook watcher, we love to get the views from Facebook, but go to YouTube too. Really, all it takes is clicking and opening it at that point. So I mean, spread the word, and if you are going to send it to anybody, we prefer it to be through YouTube. We're trying to grow the page, so if you are a true fan of the show, please do that. Smalls, I'm sorry to interrupt, just wanted to add to what you were saying.
No worries, man. It's exactly what I was pretty much going to say. So and then I thought I had something else. Go buy the shirt. Yep. Go buy the shirt.
I'm waiting on mine, and you guys are going to be getting a couple announcements this week to remind you some more as well. Smalls, you and I have talked about something that I've been putting together that's going to be for the week left countdown that I'm going to put out there. And Smalls, I know you are also cooking something as well. But please, guys, again, if you were a fan of the show, don't just watch it, rep it. We have shirts available. Go to thoughtsfromthebench.com, visit our store tab, and then you will be able to sift through some other bullshit until you find the Vault shirt. And that's the one that you should buy. We greatly appreciate it. And also, this is something that I feel like we keep forgetting to add. It is available for a limited time only. If you do not buy it by the end of the month, you will not be able to get this shirt again. This is the only chance you have. So please take advantage of that. Don't miss out. And rep the boys. Rep the best show on Thoughts on the Bench by getting a Vault shirt.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm gonna make mine's a little more in depth with the shirts. I'll get into it. Has to do with our partner Marshall Fitness, which we'll start with an ad read here. Actually, this week's topic is brought to you by Marshall Fitness, your personal training online resource. Will Marshall, good friend of the show, will help you pretty much fit any workout, nutrition, any sort of new routine to help you get in shape. He will make sure that it fits into your everyday schedule, whether it's working around your work schedule, family, whatever the case may be. Please hit Will up. He knows what he's doing. And like I said, I have something cooking with Will right now, and by the time this episode comes out, it's it'll already be out, hopefully. So I'm gonna announce what it is at the end of the show, and I'll probably expand on it a little bit. But Ben, let's get into it. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted right there. There we go. There we go. And so this is the topic that I think Ben came up with this when we first started coming up with ideas for the show in general. Like before we even recorded an episode, we knew that the vault was about jerseys and basically getting it out of the vault, right? Like we're looking back at some jerseys, logos, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Benny had the idea to this is really going back into the vault because I had to dig for some of these. We're doing the Thoughts from the Bench edition. I'm so dude, I've been trying to.
Yes, sir.
We've had this one in the chamber for a while, and we've held off.
This has been locked and loaded since November.
Mm-hmm.
That we have been waiting to unveil, and it was just kind of trying to see when the time was right. And I really feel like with Thoughts from the Bench, we're really starting to hit a peak here, where everybody's involved with some type of show, and even, who knows, maybe a blog still gets put out every now and then. But I feel like where we're at as a company is we've had enough time to really get to know each other and really become a community at Thoughts from the Bench. And that has led us to be a little more comfortable with diving into each other's personal lives. And today we're going to be taking a big jump. So put on your goggles and your snorkel because we're diving way deep into the vault for this one, as these are pictures and jerseys and things of that nature. Basically, benchers and members of Thoughts on the Bench in athletic events and what they were wearing at the time. And that's why we came with the Bencher Edition Smalls. We have been waiting to do this for so goddamn long. The time is finally over. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the catastrophe that you are about to see in front of you.
Yep. So I'm gonna preface this saying this might turn into a good old fashioned roast, which is
good emphasis on could.
Yep. So, but really, I, at least in my mind, and you kind of hit on it, but I feel comfortable enough with these guys. I kind of want to show my appreciation for just being a part of something this cool. I think this is a good way to do it, to show that we are all kind of friends,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So I did want to throw a few caveats out there. If you're on the bench and you're watching, please, this is good. This is supposed to be good natured. Like, we're just trying to have some fun. We're not being serious. We're not trying to just be dickheads. So if it comes across that way, we're really not trying to be.
Absolutely not. We dish, we take. That's what we do around here.
Yep.
Hey, you're really not friends with somebody if you don't bully each other a little bit. Yep. So, I mean, that's the the phrase that I've kind of gone off of for a while, and my friends, you included, can attest to that. So this is all in good fun.
Yep.
And yeah. So we're ready to go.
Yeah. I also want to say, hey, if we did not include you, it's not because we don't like you. It's literally because, I tried finding pictures of most of us. There were some deep cuts that I had to dig out, and some people I just couldn't find anything on.
Well, and it also just means that we need to take some time to do some digger deeping for the sequel to this episode. Yep. So this will not be the last time that we hit the benchers, trust me. Yep. Even ourselves included. This will not be the last time that we are involved in this kind of episode. Yep. So just basically just wait your turn because it's coming.
Yeah. Two other things I did. If you see me blurring out some faces, it's just because I'm trying to focus on the person that we're featuring. So just wanted to know.
And we didn't get signatures from their agents to let them be in the episode. The Hollywood rules. So
yeah, the legality of it all, of course.
Yeah.
And we're not above any of this. If any of you guys, either just in the audience or on the bench, come after us too, because hopefully we can take it as well as we can dish it, because that's the whole point of it. So if you have a picture of me looking ridiculous during a sporting event, send it my way. Roast me like a pig over a fire, man. Like, I want to hear it.
Bring it on, bitches. I'm ready for whatever the hell has to come our way.
Yep.
I know how embarrassing I've been throughout my life. I'm ready for anything.
Yep. So you guys did already see it, but I found a few of these. I just want to put our faces on here. Ben, can you see?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. So let's get into it, though. Benny, you're up first. Who you got?
I mean, is there a better way to start this episode? I really feel like we need to dive in to the man, the myth, the legend, the founder, the TikTok influencer, Derek Whiten. Deke, we love you, buddy, and we would not be doing this show if it wasn't for you. So we do want to give credit where credit is due. I also want to give credit to your neck, because that's a lot of scarf to be able to hold on to. That is one of my favorite looks of all time. The scarf specifically, I get that this was maybe for a warm up, but I get like the almost preppy soccer guy kind of look. I dig that going on. In the second picture there, Derek looks like mom just pulled pizza rolls out of the oven. He looks super excited to be there. In the red jersey, the two-tone red jersey, not my favorite, but I know that as a goalie, you have to wear a jersey to stand out. In the gloves, I mean, were they from Walmart? We'll never know. But I think that Derek's talent exceeded any of his looks or his styles, like when he threw his own ball into the back of his own net in college. Granted, he was on a tear that year. He is a Division I college champion. And we are very proud of our founder for that. Derek, we love you, but I just had to, bust a couple balls here. So thank you for giving us this platform. But buddy, the scarf is something I will never forget from here on out.
Yeah, I wanted to try to find it, but I don't think my internet's good enough. I wanted to find the own goal. If you guys have a chance, just go Google. He's posted it, so it's not like he's trying to hide it, you know?
Yeah, and back I had a show, I think it was 2 episodes, called Let's Have a Laugh, and it's something I would maybe like to revisit down the road. But I remember Vo made me t-shirts and all this stuff, and it lasted 2 episodes. But on one of the episodes, basically it's a storytelling concept, and Derek told the story about the own goal, and we resurfaced the video, and the video, luckily for Derek, is very not clear. Yeah. So you can't 100% even tell if it is him or not. So the fact that he's owning up to it, good on Deke.
Yep, it's not a sore spot for him. He embraces it, and it's hilarious. I mean, I would do the same thing. Like, at least I would hope that I would do the same thing. That takes some guts. You threw a ball in your own goal, and you're just like, yeah, that was pretty fucking funny. So, like...
Yeah. Now, at least it wasn't a game where they were murdering. If it was like that's how they lost,
yeah,
then maybe he might not have as good of an attitude about it. But Derek's always a good sport. He can always take as much as he dishes. So that's why, we can't have a bencher edition without the bencher. Yeah. So, we had to throw you to the wolves, Deke.
Yep. I love it. Yeah, I also love the Under Armour. The turtleneck Under Armour, I think, is a nice touch, too. He just had to have something around his neck.
And that era, the 40, 50 years ago when Derek was playing soccer that's when it was the turtleneck era. Really, I think Derek's just really concerned about neck safety or warmth, because he's got a scarf in one, a turtleneck in the other. I guess we just got to call Derek Cold Neck from here on out, because there's a lot of evidence of him keeping that covered. So maybe it was for hickeys. We never know. I don't know. What Derek was doing in his personal life, or he just couldn't afford heat. I don't know, but the scarf and the turtleneck, good for your neck. Yeah.
Yeah, warmth it's important. All right. So we're gonna go on to my first pick.
Yeah.
So Denny, aka DJ Den, the benches, in-house degenerate gambler. So I'm gonna just come out and say it. I actually didn't really know Denny up until about 2 months ago. We met in person for the first time at Deke's last show in Pittsburgh. And like before that, I saw him on some stuff. I didn't really know how I felt about him, just honestly because I hadn't met him. We hit it off fucking right away. And part of it was because we went to Rivers that night and had a night with our dealer, car dealer, Roland. And it was just like a time and a half. Me and Denny were just like, he's one of the boys now. Like I love Denny. I'm on draft day with him now. Like he's a top-notch guy. This is tough though. So
yeah.
All that being said, like as much as I love him, that doesn't excuse the fact that it looks like he was still wearing Etnies his senior year in high school.
Oh man. No.
So of course you could like, he's kind of a mop head right here. It was.
Oh yeah, the haircut.
Yeah, you could. It was a senior night. He graduated from the esteemed Vincentian Academy in Pittsburgh. Looks like he was one of 2 seniors. So just. Oh.
I have never heard of that. I swear to God, in my life, I've never heard of that school.
I think the only time I've really seen it is on like Channel 4 on Saturday mornings when they talk about high school football. That's pretty much, and I see just like on the ticker at the bottom, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Hey, small town Denny. Good for small town Denny.
That's right.
In just is out of curiosity, I'm trying to analyze, all the details here. Is that a cake made out of cupcakes? Like, are those cupcakes with one giant icing? Yeah. I mean, that's just lazy moms. I get that, yeah, like make their own individual one or a whole cake. Like then you're tearing away pieces of the soccer ball. You could have made each one a soccer ball. And Denny, if that's your mom who made that, I apologize. But typically it's somebody else's mom, like whoever's in charge of the boosters. But it, Vince Vaughn Academy, wherever you went, they needed to step up the treat game after senior night.
Yep.
That's really my biggest gripe with this whole picture. Is the damn cupcake.
So I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I love how they weren't even trying to hide it. It was just, hey, we're going to rip off Real Madrid and not even try to hide it. Like, they just took the logo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it wasn't even, they didn't even try. The jersey itself is, I actually kind of like it. Like, if I had that in high school, I actually wouldn't have minded it. Like, it wasn't.
Well, because it looks pro-ish.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Real Madrid. But what they should have done is had that same crest with Vince Vaughn's face in it, since it was Vince Vaughn Academy that he went to. And then all the time they would just be able to watch like Fred Claus instead of film. And then they would just be able to go back and
Wait, hold on, that's the one you went with? You went with Fred Claus?
Oh, I was trying to go with the most ridiculous movie that he's been in, but they could go old school. In fact, anytime I see Denny now, I'm gonna go, "You're my boy, Blue." So Denny, if you are watching, I want you to know to prepare for that, because pretty much anytime I see you now, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, the Real Madrid just rip off. I mean, like I said, they weren't even trying to make it their own. It just looks like it's the same thing. Dude, you're not Luka Modric though. You can't go around with that hair dressed in a Real Madrid kid in high school soccer. Come on, my guy.
No, but you know that Denny ate, slept, and breathed soccer, and I know that he just maybe got too big of a head at times, and so the hair just naturally grew into a helmet to try and encompass that. But I had it too when I was younger, that not in high school, because I feel like it's a little too old to have that haircut, but like elementary school, middle school, I was there then, so I get it. But overall, Denny, we do love you, but tough look, and your school did rip off a major soccer program, but hey, who doesn't, I guess.
Yep. Listen, despite the fact that he looks like he should have a Fox Racing hat on, Denny, I love you, and you are one of my favorite people on the bench, just because we have that commonality of just being gamblers. So shout out Denny. Jesus Christ.
Shout out.
Fucking
shout out.
Ned's declassified looking ass.
Oh no, that was the best one. All right. So this one, there's some history here, okay? For anybody who has been following the bench realistically in the last 2 years, you know that Josh and I have a bit of a rivalry, and it started with the cornhole thing, which, hey, I'll give him all the credit in the world. He did beat me. He promised to do it in 2 games. He couldn't, so he did it in 3. But Josh is really great at like amateur normal people things. He's really good at cornhole. He's really good at wearing clothes. He's really good at eating pizza. He's good at doing that because he does buy the slice. He's really good at that, and a really good biker. Story that not a lot of people know about Josh. Josh got hit by a car while riding a bike once, and that is a true story. I remember him telling it to some of us, and I remember like I genuinely felt really bad. I'm like, dude, like there's even a bike lane. How are people swerving into that? So Josh, I appreciate that didn't steer you away from biking. It led you into whatever the hell this is. Josh, I know you posted this. I can't remember what it was for, but there is half of a donut fashioned inside of your mouth, and then the other half awaiting the same fate, I imagine. And then the thick bikes. What is it? Is it a skin suit or biking uniform? I don't know. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
The Argyle pink pattern is kind of what catches me off guard a little bit. And the sponsor of Thick Bikes, I don't know if that is like Thick Boys on Thick Bikes, if they're like a joint community there. But I do I like the boldness of it. I like that there's no shame and no fear to ride in what I would assume is the Tour de Lawrenceville, since you're not going to be in the Tour de France. But the helmet is a clean look. I like it. Sunglasses, safety for the corneas. I love it. The bone saw gloves that you have on from Spider-Man. The bone saw is ready. While fancying it with the Monopoly Man mustache and the, I'm assuming, overweight woman bike suit. I think all of it together makes quite a bold statement and shows that Josh is very proud of who he is. He's definitely by far one of the most known benchers because he's out there and he is always what I like is that Josh is proud and he's not going to back down from whatever he is or wants to be. He sticks to who he is, and I like that. There's nothing beneath the surface with Josh. It's all up there, and it is very much so out there with this picture. And this is one, it's not a jersey per se, but this is a sports uniform that he was wearing. And really, I'm going to need more details to figure out what the hell happened here. But Josh, you made the cut, man. Congrats. And I know that there's going to be a retort, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. Thick Bikes, man. When you sent me this, I was like, bro, what is this? Like, no, I mean, he went full hardo with it too, which is the only thing you could really do with it. Like, you can't half-ass Thick Bikes, Like, he went
so hard. To me, like, Lance Armstrong owes him a thank you for what he's doing for biking. You know what I mean? So Josh really, I mean, if you want to talk about the words full send, he fully sent. Yeah. So Josh, I really do. I know that we have this weird love-hate relationship, but I really do give you a lot of credit because I like doing outlandish shit, and I like that you're not shy from doing that either. So good on you, dude.
Yep. The Tour de Lawrenceville, that sent me, bro. That sent me. Jesus. All right.
So, Smalls, what do you got?
I got our boy Dre. So I got 2 for Dre. So I included 2. On the left here, we have, so Dre went to the same high school as me and Benny, right? Went to our alma mater, Kiski. He played on the football team. I think he played baseball too. Wide receiver, DB, at least that's what his Max Preps profile said.
Ooh, you dug deep.
I did, dude. I went for some deep cuts. So, But it's not. So I want to start just by saying this. Look at that stud, and no, I'm not talking about Dre. Look at that rock that's in his ear. That's the first.
Oh yeah,
dude. That is the first thing I saw. He looks like one of those extras that they threw into an episode of Ballers on HBO.
Oh man. Dude, he looks like one of the football kids in the Aussie that like is trying to be friends with Drake wheelchair. Like he is he looks like the stereotypical like high school football player that they put in a TV show.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, the jersey, it just reminds me of like a CW original TV show about high school football. Like that just generic ass.
Yeah, dude. Or even like local access TV where they're trying to get you to not do drugs. Yeah. Like it's like the after school special where someone's like, "Hey Dre, man, would you like to smoke some weed?" And he's like, "Nah, I have football practice, bro." And they're like, "Oh, but come on, Dre, just a couple puffs." And then he's like, "Nah, I can't ruin my football career." And then he's like, "Oh, well, maybe just a puff." And then he takes a puff, and then they show like a old like Photoshop picture of him like as a mugshot, and it's like Dre could have went to the NFL. Yep. Instead, he went to jail. And then like that's what happens. Like he looks like an after school special. And Dre, we love you.
Yep.
We love you. Anyway, Smalls, I'm sorry. Get to the second pick. Yes. I just had to go on that.
Yeah, no, the second pick, it's nothing. I'm not going to rip on young Dre, really, because, I mean, he was a fucking child. So, really, I'm just saying, like, hey, the transition, it all started with the good old Kiski Valley Lancers midget football program. And then he moved on.
Little people football program.
Sorry. Is that whatever. We're PC. But no, Dre literally one of like the best-hearted dudes I know. Like he's just an overall soul. Good guy.
Genuinely the purest soul.
Yeah. Like just a good dude. That earring, just wow. Benny, let's get to your third pick. What do you got?
So, real quick shout out, number 4 over here. I know we blurred faces for a reason, but that's actually Andy Sokolsky, friend of the show, friend of mine. Andy, shout out. But here we have our own Smallsy taking on the world. Okay, shaved his head. Started taking some Bosley after, and so he was able to get a head of hair that he has now under that hat of his. But at the time, he wanted to let everybody know that he was not playing around. And ironically, he looked like a guy who was listening to Five Finger Death Punch, but actually he was screaming "Drops of Jupiter" by Train on the bus on the way home. So, this is Small's senior year. And this was our last year together as teammates because Smalls was a year ahead of me in high school. These were probably the cleanest kits that Kiski ever had. Mm-hmm. Not to say that it's an awesome kit, but it is one that we had. And he's fashioning the long sleeve where actually we had the names on the back of the long sleeves. But for our blue and gold, this is one of my favorite pictures because they, Smalls is just back to the wall.
Yeah.
And, didn't back down there, but just surrounded by defenders there, and he's just putting his hands up because Smalls always had a pretty good relationship with the refs, and he had to let them know, hey, I'm not doing anything bad here. But yep. Smalls, you were obviously one of my favorite teammates in one of the guys that I kind of clung to when I came on the soccer team, and a very talented athlete at that. And Derek has even spoke on that before. But here, I love the boy in the striped pajamas haircut that you got going on with the Kiski kit on long sleeves, even though I'm pretty sure it was hot as hell because I think this was a September game, if I remember correctly. You were the only person in long sleeves, I'm pretty sure. But either way, Smalls, I give you the shout out, and I'm happy that I was able to bring this PSU cult member into our episode tonight.
That was I'm tearing up right now. That was amazing. Thank you. Yeah. Well, funny you mentioned, and I'm not gonna go back and tell high school soccer stories, but you mentioned me having a tight relationship with the refs. My first varsity game, about two minutes in, I got carded, and PA or the Whippeal's dumbass rules made you go out for the rest of the game if you got a yellow card, or like for the next 5 minutes. There were 3 minutes left in the game. So literally 2 minutes into my varsity debut, I got booted. So the refs were not kind to me in high school soccer, but it is what it is. I do like this picture. I'm not doing anything, sir. Nothing. No touchy. All right. I appreciate the shout out though. Benny, tell me a joke, funny man. So, all right. So I'm gonna paint a picture here. Honestly, like, I'm not gonna jab him too much. The tell me a joke, funny man was really about as like, I don't wanna ride my co-host too hard, but I want to paint a picture for you guys. So you don't see his face here because he actually just scored his first goal. Was that your first goal ever?
I don't know. I think it was the first of the year.
Okay.
It was my first of the year, and it was a really bad year. So,
okay. So I think you were on the JV team at the time. We were getting ready for the varsity game, just over on the side, just like hanging out and stuff, because JV always played before us. We were just hanging out, and Benny puts one in, dude, and I've never seen anyone like, you think professionals run to their benches after they score a goal, dude. Benny was screaming toward the bench, man, and we were just there waiting for him. Like, he was just one of the, like, we were genuinely so happy. You can kind of see it in my face here, even though I look like I have the fragile body of a 10-year-old boy here. But you could tell that, like, we were just genuinely happy for him, and really it was because he was just one of those guys that was friends with pretty much everyone on the team, and it was such a genuine moment that we were so fucking ecstatic. We were just like, I don't know, it was one of my favorite memories of all time, and I'm glad someone actually got it, like, in a photo.
Well, despite Canner almost Smalls almost breaking me in this picture, because if you can see that my arm looks like a chicken bone post-consumption, and then my body, I was kind of built like Larry the Cucumber from VeggieTales, if any of you catch the reference. So Smalls almost teetered me over real quick, but this was I was more passion than ability, and I was just freaking out over the goal. I came to the sidelines and I got mobbed by not just these three. These were the first three people, but I mean the whole team, everybody who wasn't on the field. So, but I do think it goes to show something to the relationship of the Vault, that Smalls was the first person to meet me at the sideline. You know what I mean? Out of everybody, he was the first person there when I got over there. So it was one of those things that I like asked to be subbed out just so that I could celebrate with everybody. I was like, all right, get me out of here. And then I came out just so that I could celebrate. And I mean, as much of a jackass as I was for a majority of my soccer career, I really, I flourished in the moments where it was team related, and because I was the tell me a joke funny man guy. I was the one, literally roasting our coaches and being made to run for the rest of practice because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. That was the type of guy that I was, and I knew my role. But this is one of my favorite pictures too, because all the people in it, the coach in front of me not pictured, in the two guys with their faces blurred, we still have good relationships with these people to this day. So it's memories like that caused us to keep a bond throughout the years. So and that's one thing, is through a lot of these pictures, is I know that all these guys, they might be a little embarrassed from things that we said or whatever, but I promise you that all of the pictures and all of the guys in the pictures can link it to good memories that they have. So, and that's something to be said for sports as a whole, and being a part of, especially at that era in your life, is the people around that made your sports memories so memorable.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you were a jackass. You were friends with everyone on the team except for the coaches, which I thought was incredible. Yep. But no, man, this was just one of those moments that, like, it was moments like these that I think this is kind of why we're still buddies today. Like stuff like this is why we ended up doing the vault together. You know, like it genuine, just super. I feel like we both try to be at least genuine people, and pictures like this I think really show that. So Benny, I appreciate you. I just want to say this: thank you for coming on this journey with me on the vault.
Hey buddy, I wouldn't rather do it with anybody else.
All right, cheers to you,
Cheers,
brother.
man.
Do you remember yelling chicken fucker and having to do bunkers right after?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I remember because our coach, who I will leave nameless, our head coach, this is my freshman year, which I got in trouble more my freshman year than I did any other year, which is funny because, you know, usually you figure your freshman year you're supposed to be like on P's and Q's at the highest level. And I remember telling our coach, hey, go pull that van around and let the kids out. And I had to run. Literally, we had an hour left in practice, and I had to run for the entire hour. Just keep running and running and running. I gave a couple Shibuyas my freshman year that almost got me kicked off the team. Yep. And if it wasn't for team captain at the time, Kyle Terrell, shout out Kyle.
Shout out Kyle.
I would have gotten booted if it wasn't for him stepping up and vouching for me. I also, you know, I got into a couple very heated arguments with some other older players who got as much playing time as I did, which especially my freshman year was next to none. So which, you know, led me to have kind of an infamous legacy. But it was kind of at that point that I did argue with the coaches, but they gave up to a certain point because they knew I'm not a star athlete. I'm here to have fun. I was like the morale monitor, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to keep the mood up, make people laugh, and piss the coaches off, because players like when the coaches are pissed off. So it's you know, that was my role. Smalls was the more like, I'm just gonna enjoy what he's doing while carrying on the actual athletic side of things. So that was like, you know, that's where our dynamic met, is where he at least enjoyed what I did, and I got to live vicariously through the athletic success that he had. So that's where we kind of balanced out there.
I appreciate that. High school all-star right here. I'm telling you what. Get me my Letterman jacket. Let's move on to honorable mentions. So Ben, let's start with the two that I think are pretty obvious. Chip, our HR department. Shout out, Chip. Amazing
shout out.
Dude. Like,
shout out, Chip. Chip, I just want to say that you, and this is me being as genuine as possible, Chip, you have basically become another dad to everybody else on the bench. There are some guys that you've known longer than others, but me and Smalls, you were actually the announcer for a majority of our careers in high school. You know, I've heard you call my name. I've heard you call our soccer games growing up, and you were the uncle to one of my best friends growing up, and now the dad to one of my closest friends now, and the founder of this. And Chip, you really keep the HR department on lock. But here, I know this was a tough day for you. I know that having to put on the Man U jersey after your boys over there took an L to them, you had to put it on. And, you know, hey, you took it with pride. You took the picture. You even put up the hand for extra credit. I mean, Chip, I got to give it to you. But I know that this is a hard pill for you to swallow. You look upset, maybe a little constipated, but I understand because you had to wear the Man U jersey. But we give you a lot of credit for even taking the picture and being a man of your word. That's why we love you, Chipper. Yep,
love Chip. I mean, yeah, he's just like, that's the thing. Anytime I think of anytime I think of Deke, Chip's like pretty much right there. Like he's Chip, you know, like I don't know, you don't know what else to really say about him because he's awesome. And I'm not,
he's somebody that you gotta meet. Like any words that we say will never do Chip justice. Like we can talk about him as if he is the second coming, but you won't know until you meet him. And when you do, I promise you'll be happy that you did.
So next up, we got the tall vertical picture. We got our boy Ryan Votash.
Not a boy, Vo.
Love Vo.
Not a boy, Vo.
It's It's tough that you were wearing a paintball jersey while playing hockey at Slippery Rock, but it is what it is. Not the worst looking jersey, just does not really look like a hockey jersey. Looks like a lacrosse jersey. So,
oh yeah, lax jersey. The paintball one was good. That's a quality reference.
Yep.
And I'm sure that you get a lot of slimy pebble fucking references or whatever to you. It's already annoying enough, but Bo is actually a very talented roller hockey player. I've heard he plays ice hockey, and he's got a girlfriend now, so he's also an all-star tonsil hockey player. So good for you, Bo. Super pumped for you for that. And our last picture, I'm gonna need a little more explanation on this one, Smalls, but Greg Malik, literally.
Okay, I was gonna say, who do you think this is?
When we were talking about Dre, Greg is also one of those people, one of the sweetest, kindest, most genuine people I've ever met in my life. From the moment that I got invited, really accepted to be a part of Thoughts on the Bench, Greg, aside from Derek, was the first person to introduce himself and be just the most welcoming, kind host I could have asked for. Greg, you were the best, man. You're the best.
Yep. No, love Greg. And I definitely didn't know Greg coming in. He'd only read the blogs that I was putting out when I was back in school when I first started. But first time I met him, I went on Two Beers Deep, man, and he was just the man. He was just a genuine guy. I did find out, Greg has lost a lot of weight since his college days. He looks good now. That's why I was wondering if you could recognize who this was, because he's hard to recognize now. But had to throw him in there.
It was just at first glance, I only have the benchers to pick from. So if it was just you told me anybody, but since this is a bencher edition, it was easier to pick up. But yeah, Greg. In fact, Greg, if you are watching, if you don't mind sharing, you don't even have to say what you were and what you are now. But we would kind of like to know the number of weight lost, the total of from your biggest to what you are now, because you have made awesome strides, dude, and we are super happy for you. But we had to throw you in, not really a jersey pick, but how could we leave out the co-host of Two Beers Deep? We just can't.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Benny, were there any big ones that we missed? I feel like Moorhead. I mean, I would really have to dig back and find a picture of Moorhead.
Is one that we gotta dig, because I know that there are some, but they are buried with most prehistoric fossils, and we need to dig them up. Because the ranking, there sometimes he maybe gets a little bit ahead of himself, and we need to bring this back, to where we show him his roots. So definitely Austin's on there of one that we need to bring up. Greg McAfee, I went through a lot. And I can't find it, but I know Mac was a very good baseball player, and I would like to dig up some baseball pics of Mac. He's one that we need to get back into. I want to see some photos of Josh. I know Josh played hockey. I want to get a hockey photo of Josh at some point. Luckily, I was able to find the real diamond in the rough, and that's not in reference to the Argyle pattern on his bike suit. But I think, in terms of what we're going to be able to dig up on the bench, I think we covered the most important pieces, or in terms of I don't even want to say the most important, but the easiest to cover. We laid it out. But like I said, anybody who we didn't mention, just know there will be a second episode to this. We have to. But please, if you are friends of the bench, anybody on it, or family members, this is one to watch, so that you can kind of dive deep into seeing a little bit of our personal lives all together as a company, and send this to your friends and family who would like it a lot better. Send them the YouTube link so that they can check out the show and be able to kind of pick us apart a little bit.
Yep. No, I mean, couldn't have said it better myself. Really, again, I wasn't trying to pick on anyone. I wasn't trying to be a dick to anyone. And it's
not at all.
Nope. It literally it's because we're doing something different that most people aren't doing, and these are the people that we get to do it with. So wanted to, we're gonna give these guys a little bit of shit, but appreciate all you. Ben, let's wrap this up. Hey, are you frozen right now? Oh no, you're good now. Okay. My fucking Wi-Fi, man, I swear.
Can you see me?
Yeah. No, we're good. So
All right. Well, is it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to make a small announcement. By the time that this comes out, I should already have the video out, but Ben has already kind of hinted at the fact that he has been putting something together for our t-shirt competition. By the way, go buy our t-shirts. Please go buy our t-shirts.
Yes, please.
But I wanted to expand on the relationship that we have with Marshall Fitness and Will over there. Hit him up. So first of all, he's coming on the show next week. Ben, I haven't told you that yet, but we're gonna have Will back on the show.
Okay.
And second of all, I wanted to up the ante on us trying to get these shirts sold. So me and Will came up with an idea. So basically what it is for every, and this is on me, I'm putting my foot forward. I'm doing this. He's helping me sponsor it. He's teaming up with me for the second part of this. The first part, for every shirt sold between now and the end of the month, I'm donating $20 to the Humane Animal Rescue in Pittsburgh. Something that
right on. Hey, good on you, Smallsy.
So it's something that I've been wanting to give back to for a while, because I mean that's where I got my dog from. Like, I adopted her from that shelter, and like they rely on donations. So like anything that like I can do to kind of give back to them, because I mean they need food to feed these dogs. They need medical supplies. Anything to help them do surgery, that kind of stuff. Literally anything helps. So 20, and this is my own money. This is not profits from the shirts. It's my own
not
money.
At all.
If you guys buy a shirt, I will give $20 more to Humane Animal Rescue in Pittsburgh. That's number one. Number two, since Will is a personal trainer and Marshall Fitness is your online resource for personal fitness needs,
the go-to.
Yep, the go-to, of course. I'm doing a pull-up challenge so every shirt I'm doing 10 pull-ups.
Okay.
And Will is going to be there.
Recorded?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. So if we do the math here, 10 shirts, if you guys just buy 10 shirts, that means $200 out of my pocket going to those shelters in Pittsburgh, and 100 pull-ups, which it might kill me. That's a lot of fucking pull-ups. I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So if you hate me, go buy a shirt. If you like the show, go buy a shirt. If you want to help me donate to a good cause, go buy a shirt. So that's how.
If you love or hate him, really, if you know that Smalls exists, go buy a shirt.
Yeah. So if you want to see me in pain, go buy a shirt. Like, I wanted to up the ante a little bit, and wanted to thank Will along with that, because he's gonna help push this. He's gonna probably put something out on his end as well, kind of promoting this. And yeah, really, I'm trying to at least make it not just us, because the one clip that we put out of us just going, go buy our fucking shirt, I was like, that's a little aggressive. Let's soften it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So at least
that's fair.
At least there's gonna be something coming out of this. So by the time this comes out, I should already have that released. So I'm trying to release it tomorrow, which is Thursday. So Benny, is there anything else before we close this one out?
Everybody just stay tuned, because we got big things coming and we really appreciate the support. We hope that this was a nice little comic relief for you guys. An episode that we've been wanting to do for a very long time. So, Smalls, I'm really glad we got to do it. Last thing, shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks, NBA champions. Not necessarily that I was rooting for them, but we do have a resident bandwagon fan in Josh who claims to really like the Bucks, and they won. So, Josh, congrats. And to the city of Milwaukee, you earned it. And Giannis did it the hard way. So, congrats to them. Me being the resident basketball guy, I had to throw that out there. But other than that, next week, Small said it. Will's going to be back on the show, and we got some things cooking. Please buy our shirts. Please share our video, and have a good weekend.
Yep. Have a good weekend. Hit subscribe. Have a good weekend. Appreciate it, guys. Hey, Benny. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, brother.